Hi, my name is Aiko Rachel Peterson, and today I'm going to be analyzing this poster called The Spirit of America. It looks like this, and it was released in 1919 by the Red Cross in collaboration with American artist Howard Chandler Christie. So, what was happening at the time? Why was the poster created? Well, 1919 is the year after the First World War ended, but at the same time, the influenza pandemic was also on the rise, and there were wounded soldiers who were returning home from the war. So, these two events created a shortage of nurses in the United States, and they were in very much high demand. So, what did the Red Cross do? They issued a nationwide call for volunteers, and they collaborated with a very popular American artist at the time in hopes of garnering more volunteers from the public. The artist used three main elements in his poster, which are patriotic colors, chromatic symbolism, and persuasive diction, in hopes of evoking a sense of sympathy and patriotism in the audience. Alright, so at a first glance, it can be seen that the three main colors in the poster are red, white, and blue. Now, these are patriotic colors that are in the American flag. The red, which mainly exists in the red cross at the bottom of the poster, is not only a piece of patriotism, but it's also an allusion to the organization involved. The white, like the red, is also an allusion to the Red Cross, as women serving in the organization in the early 20th century sported a white nurse's gown and a white nurse's cap with the organization symbol on it. But again, it's also playing a part in this whole message of patriotic colors. Lastly, the blue, which only exists in the American flag, is a huge nod to patriotism, as its location alone is in the American flag, which symbolizes America and, by extension, a duty to the country. So, through the use of patriotic colors, Howard Chandler Christie was able to scatter pieces that symbolize both the Red Cross and America and depict joining the organization as a duty that American women specifically should fulfill. Chromatic symbolism. Through the use of chromatic symbolism, the artist was able to further relay his patriotic message and hint which ethnicity of women was preferred to join the Red Cross. So in the beginning of the 20th century, segregation and racism against African Americans were still prevalent in the United States. Even though trained African American nurses in the organization were available for service, the Red Cross chose to issue a nationwide call for volunteers instead. So it wasn't a coincidence that the female figure depicted in the poster is of European descent, as she possesses blonde hair and fair skin. The next symbol would be the flag that the woman is holding. She is clutching the pole with one hand and the end of the flag on her chest with the other. So this position of the end of the flag on her chest signifies that she holds her patriotic duty close to her heart. She also bears this prideful look on her face, suggesting that she's proud of serving her country through the Red Cross, and that potential volunteers would be too. The presence of these two symbols communicates the message that white American women should join the Red Cross to serve their country, and they should do so because they were chosen and desired, and it's a prideful job. Lastly, the artist uses persuasive diction. So throughout the entirety of the poster, there are only 5 words, 4 of which were put together. The 4 words, "The Spirit of America," were placed right beside the American flag, so its position is an acknowledgement to patriotism. But the meaning of the words alone is an embodiment of patriotism. The Spirit of America suggests that serving the country by any means, especially joining the Red Cross, represents the spirit of the country. So it encourages the audience to contribute to the spirit of America by volunteering. The 5th and final word is "join," written in a larger font than the other 4 and in capital letters. It's situated right next to the symbol of the Red Cross. So these two elements together signify the message "join the Red Cross." The existence of these two groups of words links the spirit of America to the act of joining the Red Cross, so it further transmits the artist and the organization's message of patriotism. In conclusion, due to the climbing numbers of 6 civilians at the end of World War I, the American Red Cross desperately needed American women to volunteer and aid trained nurses to treat the sick. To accomplish this, they worked together with artist Howard Chandler Christie and published a poster in 1919 that targeted white American women to volunteer. By depicting the act as a patriotic duty, the artist used patriotic colors, chromatic symbolism, and persuasive diction to achieve this goal. They used these tactics to aim to invoke a sense of sympathy and patriotism in white American women, encouraging them to join the Red Cross. That's all for my presentation. These are my references, and thank you very much.